this topic is very close to my heart. And this
Mm.
topic is also very relevant to this
Yeah.
world.
Agree.
Yes.
Agree po. Nako, thank you very much. Thank you so much po sis for the time, no. And of course, I feel that you are very passionate talaga. This is yung talagang your passion, your mission, no, burning desire to really help and to share this mission and this message, okay, to more people. So I'm very happy and honored, no, to be able to, contribute yan, and of course to help others, syempre yung discovering this message. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, may I start, sis, my first question, why did you choose, no, to become an environmental engineer and advocate? So kasi kanina, reading your background po, talagang really about the environment. So ako, I'm curious, sis, what is your, reason? Why did you choose to become an environmental engineer?
Okay. Before we continue, JB,
Mhm.
I'd like you to do something for me.
Yes.
Okay. So I'd like you to picture those.
Okay.
Okay. And then hold your breath.
Okay.
So let's see, how many seconds can you hold your breath? I hope you don't faint. If you don't feel comfortable, just take off your hand and breathe. Yeah. So okay. Don't take too long.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Diba?
It's hard po. It's hard. Yes.
It's hard. It's maybe 10
Mm.
seconds. Some people can go 15 or higher. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to emphasize the importance of air. Okay. Everybody, I don't think there's anybody who does not depend on air. And that is from nature.
Mm.
It makes us alive. When the baby goes out of the mommy's tummy, what's the first thing that it does? It cries. Why does it cry? Not because it doesn't feel comfortable, because it wants to take on air in its lungs, the baby. So air. And then ano pa? We need water.
Mm.
If we had enough air, maybe we can last for a few days without water. Pero I don't think we can survive longer than like what I wrote in the book, more than 3 days, where
Mm.
our systems are already trying to make up. So everything, including food, di ba? It's also coming from nature. I don't think
Yes.
anybody has invented
Mm.
creating food from nothing.
Correct.
And these are given to us by God. So I come from a conservative and traditional family, so very religious. And I realized at a young age that everything is God given. Nobody just, pumped air or
Mm.
produced water or food for us, even our life. So everything is God given. And I was, at a very young age, I just love running around, going out in the rain. And first experience, which really jolted me, was when I fell from a tree.
Wow.
Nahulog ako. Ha? So I love kasi climbing. I'm like a champion
Yes.
tree climber. And so so there was a bird. I saw a bird, fell down, pick up the bird, and climb up the tree and return the bird to its nest.
Mm.
But maybe I slipped or I stepped on a soft branch, so I fell
Mm.
and I was unconscious. In fact, my
Oh.
brothers thought I was dead. Good thing my father arrived, brought me home, and brought me inside the house, and I recovered the following day. So it could have gone worse, diba?
Correct.
Given that, it it gave me, the drive to study more about environment. It was like, okay, let's do this. Since I was so obsessed, after being a civil engineer, I said, okay, I'll take my master's. I love water. I love, trees. I love timber design because I was a civil engineer. And then I went to environmental engineering. So for me, it was a fulfillment of a dream.
Mm.
And as an advocate, I thought I needed to bring out to the world the message of the importance of our life-giving forces.
Mm.
Kasi if you make the air dirty, and not all people can handle dust or smoke, di ba? or other particles in the air that can affect your lungs, what will happen to
Correct.
our health? Diba?
Yes.
You can get sickly, and for some people who are allergic, could even go down the, go down the hill and even lose their life.
Mm.
So, sabi ko, let's just tell people the importance of having clean air, clean water, clean surroundings. Diba? How do you have clean surroundings? Collecting your garbage, not scattering them around. Collecting, reusing, recycling stuff, but also supporting, you know, sustainable consumption
Mm.
and using, you know, materials coming from the environment that is certified. For instance, what happened in the past, flooding and all the things that we
Mm.
encountered. I will discuss that later, but
Mm.
it brought the importance of having a balanced ecosystem. So ecosystem is ecological system wherein you have a balance of living and non-living things.
Correct.
And it's not about things alone. It's the relationship of all these things. It's the relationship of the rocks,
Mm.
water, in making even the unseen things which are living. You need a microscope to see it,
Mm.
to be able to feed the higher levels in our food chain. O, di
Mm.
ba? So, everything is still connected talaga eh.
Correct.
May food web. So, meron kang tinatawag na, some people like, okay, let's go plant-based in our diet.
Mm.
Let's eat vegetables and that's
Yes.
fine. In fact, some people say, where will we get our protein if you only rely on plants?
Mm.
Because they like eating meat
Meat.
because it really has high protein. But the protein in meat comes from plants. Hindi
Yes.
naman
Mm.
nagde-develop ng protein na lang sa
Katawan nila.
muscles of,
Ah.
of
Animals.
animals.
Ah.
It comes from plants. So all these are interrelated.
Wow.
So, di ba? So I really see na, wow, we really have to pay attention. You don't have to be a graduate of environmental science. You don't have
Mm.
to follow natural science as your course. In fact, even children as young as 4 years old or 5 years old could start, collecting seeds, having their own small pot at
Mm.
home, and observe how these seeds become seedlings, become small plants, and then later, as it produces fruits like maybe a tomato or even just the leafy vegetables like pechay, they can
Mm.
collect them and eat.
Use and eat.
Yeah,
Mm.
and eat,
Correct.
di ba?
Wow, grabe. Yeah, I feel the sis, I feel the passion talaga, no. And well, syempre we know the reasons already, pero sometimes people tend to ignore na they don't, put importance to this. Pero ako I really want to honor you and support you, no, sis, kasi from your experience nga, yun nga, coming from that yung when you were a young girl, no, yung story mo. So parang at that moment pa lang, at that very young parang years of your life, meron na kaagad na sign or meron na kaagad na, parang trigger sa environment or calling, no? I mean, calling, may calling na kaagad. So, and now
Yes,
that you are, in this direction, in this journey of becoming an environmental engineer, now you have your own farm, di ba? You're a cacao farmer, you're a processor. So parang it's now para bang level, it's now in that next level, no? And hindi lang siya tumitigil sa inyo. Now you want this to be out there. Now you want this to be, kumbaga, through your book, through this message, this interview, di ba? Through your platforms online. Also, we want to share this, no, the importance of knowing these things, no? Especially, yun nga, sabi nyo, interconnected, no? Balance, ecosystem. So, lahat tayo maapektuhan, di ba? And so, siguro, sis, ang next question ko is, so, right now, I think, nafe-feel na natin, no, the impact, no, and the effects of the things that we are doing to our one and only planet Earth, di ba? And so, what do you think po are the causes of environmental degradation? and syempre yung effects niyan to us?
Okay, a very good question. And it is frequently asked, not only from, people in our field, but also in general.
Mm.
So basically, anong causes? I guess I started with consumption, di ba? So in our everyday life, we consume food, we
Mhm.
consume a lot of stuff, like our clothes, things at home, furniture, even the car that we use, di ba? To be mobile, go out and work. We also like to gift ourselves with different things.
Mm.
Especially yung, okay, I want branded. Yun. So, what causes environmental degradation? One is to be able to produce all these products.
Mhm.
Then you have to extract resources from the environment. So where do you think will we get paper? It's from the trees.
Mm.
Where do you think will we get the meat that we eat? It's from,
Mm.
the animals. As long as we're able to provide sustainable food systems for people at the consumption that we need, then I think we are able to manage.
Mm.
However, if we over consume, because then there's a group in Sweden, it's called the Food Action.
Mm.
They're very particular about food waste. And there's also a local group in the Philippines, and I think it's growing in the world.
Mhm.
I mean, can you imagine the food that they prepare in the kitchen? Not even half of it gets consumed.
Mm.
And before the food gets into your kitchen, you have to plant it in farms. From the farm, you have to use vehicles to bring it to the market.
Mhm.
From the market, it has to be either eaten raw or processed. It has to go into a manufacturing plant. It has to, be cleaned and boiled and canned or packaged. You produce wastewater. You produce solid waste. You produce all this stuff. And that's not even talking about the kitchen. So as you go now to the kitchen, what you have produced in the farm, what you only use is maybe 10%, even less. And out of the 10%, only 10% of that is actually used and 90% goes as waste.
Mm.
So, di ba? And along the way, you pollute the rivers, you pollute the oceans, you have lots of plastics, and plastics do not dissolve they only dissolve after 400 years. Many of the heavy metals and toxins have a half-life of 500 years. So can you imagine how many
Okay.
generations is that?
Mm.
So the waste that was produced 500 years ago are what
Mm.
we are experiencing right now. But given
Mm.
the population of the world, our waste now would be affecting how many generations down the line.
Correct.
And so for me, my motivation is, okay, let's protect ourselves,
Mhm.
but also let us think about the unborn. Let us think
Yeah.
about our future generations. We could get blamed like what the young children are saying.
Mm.
You know, what did you do? Why can't we see any butterflies or any dragonflies in our gardens? Ask the children. I feel very sad when I ask them, have you seen a firefly? I said, what's a firefly? I'm
Mm.
like, oh my, at least in my farm, I still have fireflies.
Mm.
But there are things so that is the cause. And what is the effect? You get flooding, you get climate change. Huh? So climate change. So when people say, ah, it's the wrath of nature.
Mm.
Nature is angry at us. No, Mother Nature is nurturing. Mother Nature is
Wow.
not against us. In fact,
Galing.
Mother Nature provides life to us.
Galing no.
Di ba? So why are we fighting Mother Nature? Mother Nature is here to take care of us. And so the effect of landslide, the effect of getting polluted waters, like what it takes a while now to treat raw water. The dams are silted. Why? Because there's deforestation. The trees are cut. We've lost the topsoil. It has gone down. There's severe erosion. And so what do? We cut the mountains to make sure that there will be no rocks coming down. In the first place, the mountains are there to protect us from the strong winds. The mountains are there to collect the water from the rain and to provide water to our dams. And that's why rain harvesting is very important, because we can also collect water in our homes from our roofs, or just put a pail and then maybe just collect enough. So I have like, I don't know how many drums. I have like 50 drums all around, trying to collect water from the drain, from anywhere that will fall.
Right.
Kasi it's one thing, you save electricity.
Yes.
Diba? And then
Yes.
you also extend the life of your water supply, so you provide more water to people. So ano pang effects? The traffic. Okay. That is one cause of, diba, pollution, so air. Anong effect? Lots of children are now allergic to small things. Not only
Correct.
children, even adults. You see a lot of people having asthma. You get people with, like, and then they add smoking and all the other stuff. So it's basically not only affecting the environment, but affecting ourselves. And we're bringing it to ourselves. And so while Mother Nature has its own natural regenerative capacity, we call it the assimilative capacity also. So you throw 1 drum of, water coming from the kitchen in the ocean, I think the ocean can absorb it. It can even be food for fish. But given the millions of people, you multiply that 1 drum with 2 billion people. What will be the assimilative capacity of your water?
Assimilative.
After a while, it cannot assimilate or absorb it anymore. The water gets murky. And when there's a lot of particles in the water, what will happen? The oxygen will be depleted. Why? Because you have the exchange of oxygen from the air, hits the water interface, and gets absorbed in the water. Diba? H2O. So the O from the atmosphere has to go down to your water phase, which is needed by your fish, which is needed by the microorganisms in the water, which will feed the fish, which will also feed the corals, because the corals are animals, they are not plants. They eat also, which absorbs also pollution somehow. Correct. Along the coast. So if you have polluted water, the corals die, because it's like, you start drinking water from the polluted canal. I don't know what will happen to us, diba? So the effect is really goes down to us.
Correct.
You eat meat that has fat, it's fine as long as you know how to slice your meat, to prepare the meat. Of course, there are other things. That's why we shifted to less eating, no meat at home. I don't buy meat at all. Yeah. So what you put in your body, the state of your health. Sometimes it is in the genes of people that they are predisposed to some diseases. But Mother Nature is there to provide vitamin D from the sun.
Galing.
Diba? How do you boost your immune system? We always read it, even in Facebook. Drink vitamin D. We are very lucky in the Philippines. God has been very good to us. Free vitamin D. Just extend your arm out of the window, you get vitamin D. Go at least 15 minutes. Diba? Babies, old people, they go out in the sun, and there's wisdom to that. Because your skin reacts with sunlight, and then Viola, you get vitamin D.
Correct.
It boosts your immune system. So sunlight is good for our health. But now, diba, you see, energy, renewable energy, we get more solar panels. We get energy from the sun. So which is converted to electricity. Diba, before Stone Age, They just make some friction with the
Mm.
help of the sun. They were
Mm.
able to create fire.
Yep.
So yung ganon. I'm not saying we close all our lights and start creating
Mm. Mm.
fire from,
Yes.
the
Actually,
street.
sis, I remember when we visited your house before, yung structure, I mean yung design of your house, 'di ba? Free flowing air, 'di
Yeah.
ba? Less no aircon yun, 'di ba? Parang yun yata
Wala.
yung that
Yeah.
is it's a free flowing air, yun yung natatandaan ko noon. Tapos it's a building pero talagang the air is there, kumbaga open
Yeah.
air. Tapos
Yeah.
yun nga, you have your parang plants there, small parang farm mo doon dati sa iyong harapan, 'di ba? So, ayun talagang and I see the ano po, I see the why you are talking about this kasi I agree na our planet is not angry with us, parang ganon. But she is, no, umaga nurturing us nga actually na it's the result of our actions, no? Yun nga, yung the process of our consumption na ito yung nagiging results ngayon. Pero siguro po ano sis so what are the aspects now no of our human life? No siguro let's para bang communicate it to us as a parang human beings, 'di ba? What are the aspects of our human life and the world no that we need to balance so that after discovering this information, 'di ba? Parang now we start doing something or we start at least trying some changes, 'di ba? So, ayan po.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So, what are the aspects of our life? I studied that. I think this is based on personal experience because of what happened to us because of COVID-19. We are in our homes. We are still. It gives us the opportunity to be introspective. It
Mm.
gives us the opportunity to think back, present, forward. So
Mm.
for me, it's like, what are the lessons that God is teaching us in this time? I've seen friends, children of friends, who are having a hard time cope. So if you look at life, it's not just about creating wealth,
Mm.
di ba? Kasi we have jobs, we need to create. Of course, we need to meet our basic needs, especially our families, we need to meet that. But the aspects of, there are things that are social, di ba? It's in the book. You can take a short test to determine where you are. There are aspects of mental. Am I overthinking? Am I getting scared? So there's the aspect of emotional. How am I dealing with my emotions, my feelings? How am I reacting? And there are others. So why am I talking about this? Because when I am out in the sun, I guess I'm kinesthetic. I'm also, this is the learning styles,
Mm.
no? So you're
Mm.
kinesthetic, you're auditory, you're
Mm.
visual.
Yes.
And for me to be able to maximize my learning experience, I applied the three styles. And I think in between there are several. When I am out in nature, and I don't go out of the house, I just look out the window and open my
Mm.
windows and take in the sun. Then I reflect, how have I been with my physical body, my physical aspect? But how have I been with my social relationship with my family? So I have my daughter and I have people working for us.
Mm.
How is our small group? We are a community. Even if there are
Mm.
like only 3 or 4 of us, we are still a community.
Correct.
The Facebook community is also our
Mm.
community. It's
Mm.
remote. I haven't seen you for a long time, bro. We haven't met
Yes.
face to face, as well as many of my friends. But we are still a community. And this is very important. This is a very important part of our life. And so why am I focusing on social, about mental and community and others? Because that is also our house, our home is a microcosm of the ecosystem. The
Mm.
relationship between living things and non-living things is also a community. You cannot have living things that is not present in a community. And sometimes, diba, even the ants, they have the ant hill. They have a
Mm.
community of ants or a
Mm.
herd of whatever. But still, the interrelationships are important in our life. And so
Mm.
what is important? Is wealth important? There's a lot of challenges on wealth. I can say, we have targets.
Mm.
This will be my income. Maybe it did not happen. And 2021 is a very hopeful year. Maybe it will happen.
Yes.
And we strive to make it happen. But what else? Because we don't travel anymore. And travel has been already an important part of the Filipino life, di ba?
Yes.
Before, I remembered only a few people can afford to buy a plane ticket.
Mm.
Pag nagbiyahe ka na, wow, yaman niya,
Right. Nakapag-plane.
now, there's a lot of budget tours
Correct.
and trips that you can take.
Mm.
And tourism is part of our life, because it's part of our recreation.
Yes.
Need to relax. We need to just, sit back and reflect on what happened to my life and how do I improve my life. But it's just, and that's applying self-care. Okay. So that's another aspect of our life. And our life is one, and then times how many Philippines, how many millions of people. And then there are other countries, times how many people in the different countries, so billions of people. Kaya nga, di ba sabi natin, global. Act local, think global. Wow. But at present, the global is somehow, di ba, challenging.
Yes.
But it doesn't stop our life. It doesn't stop our economy. It doesn't stop our community. Because as long as there's life, as long as our mother nature is there, as long as God keeps on continuing to shower us with his blessings and graces, we're here. So that's how it is. You have relationships, you have health, you have wealth, and there are other aspects that we can discuss some more. But
Mm.
yeah. Uh,
Galing. Um, I see the ano po no, the importance of knowing these aspects no in our lives. Kasi from syempre from my perspective as a father, syempre number one, my priority would be to provide for my family no. Para bang yung community ko, the immediate community that I have right now, yung concern ko is really my family. So this small community that I'm taking care of right now, I needed to provide for them, I needed to protect them, no, and to really think of their welfare, and I'm really concerned about them. And then, syempre, yun nga, you mentioned all these different aspects na relationships, na financial, and of course, itong ating environment, of course, community, and so on. And so, actually, ano po siguro ang follow-up question ko, sis, would be, if let's say there's a normal ordinary like me no para bang right now we're staying at home no right now most of our time really is inside the house no inside our parang small place no parang yan na yung ating parang ngayon yung protection natin di ba but inside our place right now. What are the siguro mga top advice or top tips that you can give no for us to have that siguro yung number one yung change in our relationship with our environment, change in our relationship with our siguro community also if you can. Tapos number two siguro papaano ba yung talagang ma-imprint sa amin as a siguro normal small family no that we have to really make sure that everything that we are doing right now we have to understand that there's an effect no to our environment and also we want to maximize diba the life-giving forces yan of mother nature siguro po top tips top suggestions sis
Sige. Um, Siguro, allow me to just show you the book.
Yes. Yes.
Sige, sige, yan. 3 mindful habits nakalagay. How to achieve a happy, healthy, sustainable lifestyle. So ito, just to give you a background, kinunan to sa farm, sa Batangas.
Yes.
Nakabike ako dyan. At hindi naman to sinadya. Sa cellphone nga lang kinuha yan.
Wow.
But we thought it was the best. And we had a poll among friends and they chose
Correct.
this. So
Ganda.
tips. Yes. It's in the book. But let me give you some fast reminders. First is, we have 3 mindful habits. How do I become happy? Kasi, okay, I'm healthy. I find some people in the exchanges that I have in my different communities and networks that they're healthy, and that's fine. Very good. Amazing. God, thank you for protecting us. But are they happy? They feel that there's more in life. So, sa akin, be thankful that you're happy. Also, be thankful that you're healthy.
Correct.
So be happy. How do you become happy? So in the beginning, yeah, just give thanks. Just be grateful for all the things that you have. So sa umaga, when you wake up in the morning, it's just be grateful and be quiet and let your mind, be relaxed and be balanced. So that's important because everything starts in the mind. Then your body follows.
Correct.
And that's why sa emotions, di ba? We have emotions, but we can also say to our body, okay, mind, this is what I think. How do I address? And it's not like just coping or surviving. It's basically being in control. Yeah, di ba? So being in control. But then again, you're healthy. And they say, okay, I'm happy and healthy. So in my small family, we're all happy and healthy. We're fine. But can you be happy and healthy when, if you think about the state of our environment now, that when we're gone, our children will inherit a world that has bad air, that has polluted water, that has, plastic in the flesh of the fish and of the animals. Because the microplastics that dissolve in the water and in the food are taken in and found in the flesh of what they eat. Will we be happy? And that's why I said it's important to have long-lasting happiness and health. Because health, we may be healthy now, but later, as all these heavy metals coming from the air, kasi yung tires lang ng sasakyan, the wheels, as they corrode, and even the concrete road, they expose all the asphalt and the concrete because heavy metals we inhale. We call it bioaccumulation. We accumulate it in our bodies. It's good to detox, bro. So do detoxification. How? Proper breathing and then going to the toilet regularly, if not 2 times a day. Eating the right foods with enough oils so that it flushes out, all the toxins are flushed out of your body. So yun, bro, ang tips. And that's why I went into being a farmer, an organic farmer. Because I see the need for having sustainable food systems that support our bodies. And yet we regenerate the land. We do not over fertilize, put chemical pesticides that will make the soil acidic, and later you still add more and more because now the soil cannot take it and it's not productive anymore. So yun. What are the other suggestions? Dun sa 3 mindful habits ko, I have steps for you to be healthy. I have also steps for you to think green.
Wow.
Why green? Because it is Mother Nature.
Mm.
That is her color. And because I talked about, having to have sustainable consumption, then it teaches you how to believe. So, and the definition is also found in the book.
Mm.
So it's kind of a combination of the technical aspects, but written in a way that even a child in grade 4 can understand.
Yes.
Because it's very important for us to be aware and to act. And there's a call for action at the end.
Correct. Correct.
So there's an action plan that we have to follow as an individual, I don't have to rely on the social corporate responsibility of my company for me to go tree planting. In fact, when I discuss with my colleagues and friends, okay, nice, we do tree planting. We go to the watershed and plant. Who's gonna water the seedlings? Did they
Mm.
survive? Who's gonna fertilize? Let's say they survive and they grow up to be nice, big. Because
Trees.
there's also a group that I support. It's a Philippine native trees enthusiast. So we plant
Mm.
native trees. The tree alone is not the habitat of our organisms. You have to have a balanced ecosystem where they can get other inputs from the environment to make them healthy. So the
Mm.
healthiness is not only human health, there's also healthiness of the ecosystem. And there are several ecosystems. You have the forest ecosystem, you have the river ecosystem, you have the ocean ecosystem. So there are several aspects also of Mother Nature that we have to look after, like us.
Correct.
Diba? We have our, our limbs and our
Mm.
vital organs, our brain, our all. So ganun din si Mother Nature.
Correct.
She needs also other aspects that we also have to be careful with. And that's why, if you look at the challenges, we bring to ourselves what we are experiencing right now. Like, okay, research says COVID was because of a virus that was released by animals. At first, they found that it was from bats. So why did the bats start releasing the virus? Could be climate change. Because once they are stressed, they release virus. It's
Mm.
natural to the bats. Is it their fault? Is it their fault that the trees are cut? Is it their fault that they have to fly to the cities to find for food, to forage for
Mm.
food because there's no more food in the forest?
Mm.
Huh? And then in other countries, they found COVID in dogs, in the pets. They found COVID in the horses. And then in Europe, they found COVID in mink. These small, cute white animals where they get the fur and they put around their neck for, for attire, for
Mm.
apparel to keep them from the cold. So apparently, it's out there already. However, it has not transferred from the animals to humans. And there was a transmission somewhere, somehow.
Mm.
And then what we're trying to look for later and we're trying to protect ourselves is from emerging infectious diseases. Because there could be other
Mm.
infectious diseases that may come out
Right.
because of because of the stresses that we bring to Mother Nature. And it's not the fault of Mother Nature or the animals. It's their natural reaction, like us. When it's hot, we try to fan ourselves, we go to a room,
Yes.
air condition. It's natural. Huh? You're thirsty, you get for a glass of water, you drink. In the same way
Mm.
as them. It's natural. So when they get stressed, they release nga these viruses. And
Correct.
how do we protect ourselves? By not being exposed to these animals. But if it's in your pet, di ba? Research shows it's even in the pet of the animal, of the young kids. So where will we go? How do we protect ourselves? There's a vaccine, fine. But what will be the next infectious disease?
Mm.
And so that's why, um, I thought I have to share this. I feel, okay, we know this, and I really feel so strongly for the frontliners because they have been, generously giving their time. They're so committed. They're working so hard. But we should realize we're all frontliners. We will not stress our health systems if we have enough immune system to take care of any infection that will come. And so for any of the suggestions that I'm making, let's be a frontliner, take care of our take care of ourselves, take care of our families, and then we protect our society. Why has some countries been able to, just manage COVID and the spread of it? I'm not saying this country is better and this country is worse. It's just that, you just have to do, because they've done a lot of research and it's really difficult to understand diseases. And so what can we do? Then that's to our part. We don't have to, of course, government is very strict on guidelines and we should follow. But we should not complain because it's for our own good. But there are other things that we can also do, like eating well, resting, cleaning our surroundings, even the masks. Please don't throw it out like, okay, I have a mask and I dispose it. Because it's still plastic, we have fibers. And it will not dissolve right away. And that's one of the challenges that we're facing. We're trying to control plastic, reduce it, but with, having those PPEs, it seems like there's a lot of plastics
again.
yeah, in the system, which is in fact necessary. But then how do we solve it? So maybe, okay, that there's PPE, it is important, it's mandatory, but then maybe we can reduce the use of plastic in other things, like plastic bottles or plastic bags, all these things that maybe are not necessary. So let's just be mindful. And that's why I use the word mindful. Because it's not only about meditating and yoga. It's about remembering how to be happy and healthy when in fact our children will not be healthy in the coming years.
Correct.
And if they're not healthy, will they be happy? So it all depends on the sustainability of the environment. And that's why it's our lifestyle. It's our contribution individually. How can I change the world? Start with yourself. Let's start with ourselves. It's good. We all come together and have
start with our home.
Yeah, start with our home. Perfect. So you're already an environmental warrior, bro. I love it.
Grabe. Ako, the one thing that struck me from listening to you, sis, is really it's for our next generation. It's for our children, diba? And for their children, and for their children's children. So, parang, now is the time to really start, para bang doing something. It's not for us anymore. It's for our children, for the next generation. And yung interconnection of all things, the one that we para somehow ignore, na parang, our environment somehow, nasa city tayo, parang we're not affecting the environment because we're in the city, no? Yung mga nasa province, okay lang din sila doon, tayo dito lang din, no? Parang may ganun minsan na parang mentality, pero in reality, whatever we do here in the city also affects the one in the provinces. Syempre sila din, ganun din. Yung mga mountains, yung mga trees na na-mention ninyo. And of course, the pollution in the city, diba, that we're causing. And malaking factor, that our earth right now is reacting, diba, responding. Sabi nyo nga po is its natural response, from all our activities.
Yeah, and we also call it urban environment. So we have a city environment. That's what we call it. And so aside from that, of course, so Mother Nature, while it regenerates, it takes a long while, bro. Like for geology, you talk about earthquake faults, di ba? So 400 years, hindi pa nag-earthquake. 400 years is young for geology. Yung fuel natin, kaya nga yung fossil fuel, kung pwede renewable energy na. Because just to produce all those petroleum underground takes billions of years. All the hard pressure, all the high temperature, all these things are happening. Tapos, one time mo lang i-extract and then you use it and then traffic pa and then you put it out in the air. Diba? So it's all interrelated. So that's why um, we want to just be mindful
Yes.
for ourselves and for
Correct.
our families.
Yes. I
Yeah.
like that po, no, na it starts with us, it starts with our home, it starts with our, parang everyday life, everyday activities that we can do something that we can start and have that change, diba? Positive change for our environment. So I also like the one thing po that you mentioned that you can be happy, no? And your happiness is also parang connected with your environment. Diba? You can be happy, healthy, and siguro wealthy, of course. Siyempre, yung
Yeah.
everybody's thriving. So now that you have that, parang opportunities abound, di ba? Opportunities are around us. So everybody will be wealthy also, di ba? So
Yeah.
thank you
Can
so
I
much.
add a little bit on that
Yes,
wealthy?
yes po.
Yeah. So there's this yeah, I think some people want to say hi. So hi to Roland, to to Grace, and to Matt.
Yes, ayun na.
They're saying hi. Okay. So there's this school of thought, which is bigger, the economy or the environment. Okay. The environment is everything.
Mm-hmm.
The economy is a subset on of the environment. The capital assets, the natural assets that we have as inputs to the economy are coming from the environment.
Right.
But also technology and knowledge is part of it. So it's like, how come Japan is the number one producer of steel and the number one builder of automobiles when in fact they don't have enough steel ores in the country? They don't have enough natural resources. It's
Mm.
because of technology and of their, planning and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if you look at Japan, you have the healthiest people, the oldest people in Japan because they eat well. They exercise at old age. They have all those, you can see it in the internet, and you have
Yes.
the nice food, diba? And you
Mm.
have clean air and everything else, so they're able to balance their society. We are blessed. We are one of the few, maybe three, mega biodiverse country in the whole world.
Wow.
Yes, the most diverse seas is in the Visayan Seas. It has more species as almost like the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. And what do? We just throw our waste out in the sea.
Mm.
If you talk to the divers, they love diving in the seas of the Philippines. It is heaven, it is paradise for them.
Galing.
Diba? I am a diver. I really
Wow.
want to dive pa. But of course now we are not able to dive. I also climb mountains, so I do mountain climbing and all those things. And so maybe people should discover all these things. Right now we can only just close our eyes and imagine. And I go to my computer, listen to music with the
Mm.
background of the hills and the mountains on the flowing waters. But these are pictures of what was there. What is there outside actually? And so, diba, we want to maintain all those flowing waters,
Yes.
all those clear waters, all those nice air, and all those nice trees.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya, yeah, that's why I've been an organic farmer for a while. I thought, wow, this is my way of showing, proving to myself and to my community that even a degraded ecosystem like the Bear Idle Farm that I acquired can be regenerated and can produce good plants and can produce good harvest and organic. It's my way of giving back. No chemicals. I haven't used chemicals in my farm for 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah, for example, I have this, can you see?
Yes. Yan.
So, di ba? For example, I have this product. It's all organic. It's even coconut oil. It's all
Mm.
local. So there's and no chemicals, no preservatives.
Opo.
Why?
This product
Because
is
all
ano po,
natural.
sis?
Huh?
What's the product po? What's the product?
Oh, it's a peanut butter.
Yay, peanut butter.
No sugar.
No sugar peanut butter. Yes. Ano pa yung products natin, sis?
Well, I
Cocoa.
have
Cocoa
cacao,
powder.
di ba? So
Cacao
I have the
powder. Yes.
powder, I have the tablea balls, and
Yes.
part of my being healthy, my
Mm.
commitment to the local farmers, to our
Mm.
agriculture sector, is to
Mm.
go local. So sometimes people tell me, because I have friends who are selling, and now you get to buy from each other and sell
Mm.
to each other, and I don't buy imported. So when they start telling me, "Oh, this is very good, you must taste this," where is it from? Oh, it's from this and from that. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a principle in life. I will
Mm.
not buy anything that's imported. And,
Galing.
and I've been following it, especially in my food. So, ganun. Even in my clothes, sabi ko nga, yeah, we all do, we buy lang from mga pre-loved stores.
Mm.
We recycle stuff, even the clothes that we use and the furniture at home and the things. If we can buy something that has been used and that we can still use and it's in good quality.
Why
Our
not?
favorite place is Raon in Quiapo,
Wow.
because we always have we have our suki, our favorite shops. They
Wow.
can uh, open a motor, an engine, and put them back, and it works. Sometimes
Wow.
sometimes the original producer would tell us, sorry, but that's an old model, we don't have the spare parts, it will not run, bring it to
Uh-huh.
Raon, it will run.
Ang galing.
Diba? Even old bicycles. So we will also be producing essential oils, because I
Yes.
noticed many of the essential oils are imported,
Mm.
when in fact we have all the herbs, and there's a lot of wisdom for the plantitos and plantitas, because they produce their own food. They can also
Mm.
have the oils, but also it gives you a lot of nice air inside the house, di ba? It filters all the pollutants. And you can see it also in the internet, all the
Mm.
dioxins and
Mm.
furans and the
Mm.
volatile organic compounds and all those
Mm.
chemicals running around that hurts your lungs. It gets absorbed by the plants.
Right.
And it gives you you feel at peace, you feel relaxed.
Yes.
Diba? You
Galing.
have a pot with a nice plant,
Mm.
and it grows and you're so excited. You take a
Yeah.
picture and you share to Facebook. I
Mm.
have this plant. I'm very proud of it. And then it multiplies. Now I can sell it. Now I get income. I now I'm a farmer, and it gets to be like an industry already. So yeah, I can talk about this forever, JP.
Wow.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much, Possis. I know that the time that we have here is not enough, and I think we can already talk about organic farming no as one full episode. Siguro later on, we'll have another feature of this very important then and very relevant topic din yung organic farming. And so I think magkakaroon tayo pa ng mga requests niyan from our viewers, also from our followers. And speaking of our viewers right now, no, siguro po pahabol lang din shout outs natin no from Roland, go Ate Bing. Ayan, ako baka po follower or relative nyo, sis. Ayan, so si Miss Cree asked how to get a copy of your book. So nag-reply na po tayo. So you have the links po. Guys, so the links of the websites no and the Facebook pages of Engineer Gabie, nandiyan na po, nakapost na no, below this stream. So if you're interested to avail of their products, yung ating mga cacao powder, the peanut butter, no, and the coffee.
Superfood, bro. Superfood.
Superfood. Wow. Yan, ako. So go to the website, go to the links po, and then I'm sure marami kayong makikitang details. Okay? And si Miss Grace also. Hi, Miss Maya and JD. God bless. Ayan, Miss Grace Aningalan. Thank you so much po for joining. Meron pa akong kaninang nakita. I think dalawang gentlemen sila. Hindi ko lang makita ngayon dito sa
See,
ating...
money. I saw money.
ayan.
It's also part of our feast.
Ayan, ako po. Thank you very much. Sir, and the other gentleman, sorry, thank you so much for joining. Pero hindi ko lang makita dito sa ating Facebook broadcast right now. Pero thank you very much for joining. So that's it, no? We're up to our last minute. Siguro, sis, what's your last message? Closing natin.
Okay. My last message is let's not forget to thank God.
Amen.
Yeah, because everything is given by Him. Each time I see a flower bud, each time I see the sunrise, I always am reminded God is there, always watching after us, always.
Wow. Wow. Ah, na-feel ko po yun. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, bosses. Siguro at this point, I want to really honor you, sis. I want to congratulate you, of course, no, and support you for this mission that you are talagang you're very passionate in doing, no? You're very passionate in doing. Kasi I think from your lifestyle, you are you are you're walking the talk. Parang ganon, 'di ba? So everything that we parang saw before, no, in your house and how you talk, no, yung mga message, mga syempre in our engagements as well, no, you're always talking about the environment, no, our parang effects to the environment, no, and mother nature, being grateful, no. So kasi ako kahit papaano, guys, nagkaroon ako ng personal encounter experience, no. Kasi we were able to go and visit, no, sis Gabie's house. So talagang nakita ko yung sinasabi ni sis Gabie. And so yun nga, I hope that this platform is able to contribute, and somehow po this will not end here. This will not end here. Magkakaroon pa tayo ng maraming features and promotions, no? Because this mission, this message, I think really needs to be out there. At na-mention nyo rin, no, its relationship with COVID-19 kanina, na parang, ako nga sabi ko parang, matatouch kaya yon kasi it's also part of the environment, di ba? So pero you mentioned it, no, na talagang napatunayan that everything right now, tapos yung mga next, yung mga succeeding infectious diseases pa that, already, parang ngayon, nafe-feel na natin na may mga parating pa daw, na may mga upcoming variants and so on. So talagang ito na yung effects, no? And everything is connected. And so itong environment natin is really have to take care of it, diba? And our planet, diba? So thank you so much po. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you,
Thank you
bro.
very much po.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining. And I hope that you share this video. I hope that you share this interview. I hope that you share this feature. Kasi po, if you are with us, no, I think that you will also feel. I'm sure that you felt, no, that the message and the mission of Engineer Gabie. And also, if you are going to watch this as a replay, okay, you may want to also post your siguro questions, no, to Engineer Gabie. Go and message her and her team directly. So if you have inquiries, guys, if you have further questions, invitations, so go and reach out and connect with them. So ayan, so that we will be able to share and help, no, contribute to really spread the message. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Engineer Gabie. Thank you so much, Sis Gabie. Thank you so much, expert business community. This is our very first episode for this year. More coming, more coming. And of course, if you want to, request for a topic, maybe for a guest, no, just send me a message, and then we will try our best to feature and to really have a resource speaker, no, for that topic. And also, I want to invite you, please go ahead and join our Facebook group. No, the link will be posted below the stream. Expert Business Community. If you're not yet part of that community, go and be part. And visit our website. It's jbborromeo.com. So you'll be informed, no, of promos, no, and invites, no, training events. And so, ayan, marami kaming announcements that we are posting. So there, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sis, thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much. See you in our next episode of the Expert Spotlight. God bless everyone and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you.